All right, so let's now have our discussion on Lesson 8.3, the cost of home ownership. And for this topic, we will be looking at the monthly payment and interest costs when buying a house, the partial loan amortization schedule, solve problems involving what you can afford and spend on a mortgage, and also the pros and cons of renting versus buying a house. So let's have some vocab words first. When we talk about mortgage, this is associated with a loan for the purpose of buying a home. Now, every time you make a purchase, a big purchase, usually like cars or home, there is a down payment, which means it's a portion of the sale price that needs to be paid initially to the seller. The amount of the mortgage is going to be the difference between the sale price and the down payment. So remember, down payment is like paid upfront. So that down payment needs to be deducted from the sale price, and then the remaining amount, that's the amount of the mortgage. So we have what we call as the fixed rate mortgage, wherein you pay the same monthly payment for the entire time of the loan. There's also what we call as the VRMs, the variable rate mortgages, wherein your monthly payments are adjusted from time to time depending on the changes in the interest rates. Okay, so when we are looking at house payments, you will also hear something like points at the time of closing. So sometimes lending institution requires the buyer to pay one or more points at the time of closing. So this goes to the lender already, okay? So the difference between the down payment and the points, the down payment goes to the seller, whoever is selling the house. The points is like an amount that you pay to whoever is lending you the money to purchase the house, okay? 1 point is a one-time charge, and it is always equal to 1% of the loan amount. So say, for example, if your mortgage says 2 points, you must have 2% of the amount to be paid to the lending institution, okay? So there is also what we call as the Truth in Lending Disclosure Statement. It shows the buyer the APR for the mortgage, and also lending institution can require part of the monthly payment to be deposited in an escrow amount, wherein this account is used by the lender to pay real estate taxes and insurance. So as you can see, the formula for the monthly payment for a mortgage is the same formula when paying the monthly payment for your car loan. So PMT is the monthly payment, so no changes in our formula, okay? So let's have an example problem with the home with the price of $195,000. So that's the price of the home. The bank requires 10% down payment, okay? And then 2 points at the time of closing. So the cost of the home is financed with a 30-year fixed rate at 7.5% rate. Okay, so find the required down payment. So all you need to remember, the down payment is equal to the percent multiplied by the price of the house. So in this case, the down payment is 10% of what? 10% of the price of the home. So you will have 10% of 195,000, okay? So you know that we have to change this to decimal form, 195,000. And so the down payment is going to be 19,500. Okay? So that is our down payment. So the amount of the mortgage is always equal to the price of the home minus the down payment. So in this case, the mortgage is 195,000. That's the price of the home minus your down payment, which is 19,500. So the mortgage is going to be 175,500. Okay, so this is the one that you have to pay for 30 years. Okay. Now, as you can see, how much must be paid for 2 points at closing? So 2 points is what? 2%. 2% of what? The points is always applied to the mortgage. 2% of mortgage. Mortgage. So in this case, the 2 points is what? 0.02, and our mortgage is 175,500. So that amount will be paid to the lender, and that is going to be 3,510. Okay, so the down payment paid to the seller. Okay, the 2 points, this is paid to usually the bank or the lender of the money for your house, for your mortgage. All right, so let's take a look. How much is the monthly payment? So it's the same price, okay? So remember, for the monthly payment, we use PMT, okay? We have P times R over N, all over 1 minus 1 plus R over N raised to negative NT. That is our formula for the monthly payment for the house, okay? So our P is the mortgage, okay? So we have 175,500. We multiply it by, okay, so the rate of the mortgage is 7.5%. So 0.075 over 12. This whole thing divided by 1 minus 1 plus our R over N, 0.75 over 12. Negative 12 times the number of years is for 30. So that's the usual length of time for a mortgage, 30 years, sometimes 20, 25, 30 years, okay? So if you have your calculators and you plug this in, you are looking at around $1,227 as the monthly payment, okay? So you are making payments. So this is what, right now, this is like almost like payment for rent. So you see that. So how much is the total interest paid over the 30 years? So remember, interest is always total payments minus the loan. All right. So in this case, our total payments is what? You are making monthly payment 1227 times 12 for how long? For 30 years. And how much is your mortgage? Sorry, this is now just the mortgage. Your mortgage is 175,500. We are not using 195 anymore because remember, we made a down payment. That down payment is already taken off. It's already taken out from this total amount. So this is just the loan that we are looking at, okay? So if you multiply these values, and you will get this amount, 441,720. Look at that amount, okay? That's your total payments for the house. The loan, the amount that you actually borrowed is just 175,500. So the interest you paid for paying your house is like way higher than the actual loan that you borrowed. So you actually paid $266 $220 worth of interest. So if you're going to take a look, the interest of the house is even higher than the mortgage that you borrowed. Okay, so that is how you can work with payments and interest for a mortgage. So always stick to the definitions of our vocab words, and that will guide you on how to make those computations for the mortgage. All right, thank you.